Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Savitri Basavaya and I'm the Oncology Portfolio Marketing Lead at Pfizer. I'm excited to be here live in Washington, D.C. at the Oncology Nursing Society's Annual Congress. A couple hours ago, we had a panel from waiting room to living room, how technology is helping to redefine life with cancer. And it talked all about technology's impact on everyday life and how we're helping patients and caregivers. Excited to have one of our panelists, Anna Young. Welcome. Anna is the CEO of Maker Health. And I'm also excited to have Lindsay Norris, who is our patient advocate for This is Living with Cancer and an oncology nurse. Thank you and welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think you both bring such interesting perspectives. Lindsay, you have a perspective both as a cancer patient and as an oncology nurse. And Anna, you have been working at the ground floor with nurses on innovation. Talk a little bit more about what Maker Health does.
So Maker Health is bringing prototyping tools to support the frontline innovations around the world. We work with doctors, nurses, PTs, OTs, and patients, because what we find is that people closest to the problem just really have the best ideas on how to solve it, and they come up with solutions that are often more affordable, more appropriate than what would be created otherwise. So our role in healthcare and in innovation is really to enable them with prototyping tools and then put a spotlight on what's happening and really changing the definition of innovation to anything as simple as tongue depressors and tape to organize IV lines up to 3D printed parts that are used for cranioplasty procedures. So,
great. Lindsay, you've had an incredible journey the last couple of years, and you've been gracious to share it with us as part of the Living with Cancer program. Do you mind telling the audience a little bit more about it?
Sure. So shortly after giving birth to my second child, I was following up with my doctor about some GI symptoms that were not going away, and I was unfortunately diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer at the age of 33. So I've worked in oncology nearly 10 years, and so this was a very big surprise, and I'm finding out now what my patients actually felt like going through this process. What did it feel like to hear the words? What did it feel like to wonder how you're going to fit this into your life, how you're going to manage going to treatments that are so often and things like that. So definitely an eye-opening experience, and the This is Living with Cancer program has been so wonderful, and just a really cool experience to be able to share my story and other inspirational stories like mine, to show really that living with cancer is different now. It's not a death sentence. People are living very long lives and surviving. And I'm just so inspired by your work, Anna, because I see doctors and nurses from my hospital at home that are doing this trouble solving all the time. So can you explain or point out some Maker nurses that
and then the inspiration is likewise. I mean, we do what we do because of people like yourself, and so Maker Nurse is actually the largest community within Maker Health. We found, and it's what founded our company, where we started. Actually started in Central America, so we were inside of hospitals in Managua, Nicaragua, and seeing that in the neonatal intensive care units and the smallest patients, nurses were hand making custom supplies for them. So whether it was Duoderm and Velcro underneath the CPAP masks so that there wasn't any rubbing and abrasion on the patient's skin, or for infants undergoing phototherapy treatment, hand cutting eyeglasses for them. But what was amazing is that when we started and expanded Maker Nurse to the US, we saw the same types of examples, right? So it wasn't just that we were in an under-resourced hospital and they needed to get by. Nurses across the world make because that's in their DNA, and they have patients in front of them who they want to create the best solution possible for them. So to us, that's the inspiration. That's what gets us up and keeps us going. Like, how do we help you, and how do we build tools that will help you to do everything that you can to help patients?
Lindsay mentioned the Living With app, which is part of the Living with Cancer program. It's a free app for patients and caregivers to manage daily life with cancer, organize important documents, share information with friends and family, and get their support, as well as manage health and fitness. Those are all important components of managing life with cancer. Can you talk a little bit specifically about oncology innovations that Maker Health has been involved with?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me actually show you some of them.
Oh, great.
So we have, this is from Maker nurse Victor Ty and his wife Amy have created a Lego model of a linear accelerator as fundamentally a communication tool for patients. So pediatric patients that were going through cancer treatment and needing to really understand what they were going to do. And so this type of tool, interactive, transformed a Saturn V Lego kit into this linear accelerator, and it met patients where they are. And so they were able to actually walk through and understand what they were going to go through. So this is one of our favorites that we've seen, and that is being shared in hospitals throughout New York. And I think he met one of your colleagues and is going to make one to head out to Kansas as well.
Yes, we are excited.
And this is another one. This actually came from the sister of an oncology patient who had stomach cancer and was having a hard time managing his feeding tube, and so being able to get the nutrition, just limited dexterity and trying to do everything by himself. And so what she came up with was these two pipe hangers from the hardware store. This end connects to an IV pole, and then it's able to balance and manage by itself. So tools from a sister to her brother to allow him to manage his care. So those are some. I think that's it's exciting when that happens, when you see that people use the materials at hand. And I'm sure, I don't know if you, Lindsay, have any examples from your hospital or that you've seen.
So nurses are so creative, and I do see these workarounds all the time. They just want to make it easier for their patients to get through their treatments and get through the day, and then just being more comfortable too.
Yeah.
But I also have to give credit to my patients. I've seen patients be so creative too with, whether it's a very small pillow in order to wear in between your port and your seatbelt so it's not rubbing, or I'll help my patients make a long lanyard in order to hang surgical drains from while they're taking a shower, so it's not pulling on their skin.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing how creative people can be with these devices, and going through a treatment, it makes it a lot easier. So.
That's great. Are there any tools or resources, technology or otherwise, that you saw others or relied on or wish you had during your own experience?
Yeah, I think people just, they do what they can to figure out how you're going to fit this in your lives. People are using their calendars to set reminders for medications. Maybe they're using a paper journal in order to say, hey, I felt sad this day, or I need to remember to ask my doctor about this. And, myself, being a busy mom, I still am trying to figure out how to get my kids to daycare every day, what's going to be on the table for dinner. Both of my husband and I work full time. Even the car needs to go to the mechanic sometimes. How do you fit this all in? So having something that you can put all of that in, that connects with your calendar, it puts the reminders in. You can log, output from a drain site. You can log how you're feeling, your pain level. All of these things are so helpful when you're coming to your oncology appointments, because you can speak with your nurse about, how many days your pain was over 5 and what can the plan be. Hey, I had 10 sad days last month. Should I get into oncopsychology or to, talk a little bit more about this? And you're just living in the moment. You're trying to figure out how you're getting through the day and how you get to that next treatment. So it's a little bit hard as a cancer patient to see the big picture. So if you have something that kind of lays it out for you, that's incredible, because honestly, there were some days I just was trying to figure out how I was going to make it up the stairs when I got home. So just having those tools are very valuable.
That's great. And you both are such an inspiration. Thank you so much for spending time with us today here. If anyone wants to learn more about the program, please go to thisislivingwithcancer.com, and all the information's there, including information on Living With, our free app. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm going to do a shout out to my girls, Lila and Anya. And I'll see you both soon.